shit! Microsoft! How can you have a conference that is so fucking boring? Oh, gosh. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Reign of Horror, and... oh, gosh. I don't know why I was awake for this, but... holy shit. Microsoft! What the fuck is wrong with you? Yes, ladies and gentlemen... okay. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, I am currently watching the E3 press conferences. And I just got off seeing Microsoft's press conference, and... whoa. Whoa. I was just begging for it to end. Holy shit, that was boring as shit. But I got games to talk about, so I guess I should take a gander at that. Why don't I? Actually, let's not talk about Microsoft first. Let's talk about Bethesda, because I watched their press conference last night, but I was so tired I didn't want to make a video about it. So let's talk about Bethesda first. They showed Fallout 4, Doom, Battlecry, Dishonored 2, and Elder Scrolls, a card game and online. Fallout 4 is the only game that really kind of interested me, because Doom is a first-person shooter. I don't care. They showed the Battlecry looked kind of meh. Dishonored, I think it's first-person, therefore I'm not interested. And Elder Scrolls, I've never been interested in Elder Scrolls. Skyrim was boring to me. Fallout 4 is the only one that looks okay, and even then, for personal reasons, I'm not entirely interested. It's basically the dog is kind of turning me off, because I have a suspicion that it's going to die by the end of the game. And that would really suck for me, because one, I love dogs, and two, I have a German Shepherd. And that's exactly the dog that we're dealing with here. So, no, not too interested. But let's get into the borefest that was Microsoft, shall we? They started with Halo 5 Guardians. It's Halo, and it's not my cup of tea. Again, first-person shooter, not really interested. But here's the thing. This was one of the better showcases they had, because they actually showed gameplay. Because, let's talk about that. First, they showed ReCore. This game kind of caught my interest because, one, they said it was developed by Keiji Inafune, the creator of one of the creators of Mega Man, and the creators of Metroid Prime. They didn't explicitly say who it was, but that's what they get. But they didn't show any gameplay. They just showed a trailer, which it looked okay, but I need some gameplay to see. And even then, I'll get to this later. But then they announced something really awesome: backwards compatibility. Now that is awesome, Microsoft. You're giving gamers who are not too interested in your product a reason to buy an Xbox One now, because now you have games for it. Any game that people enjoyed on Xbox 360. Sorry, I'm catching a bit of a cold here. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. You're giving gamers the opportunity to play the Xbox 360 games on Xbox One, which gives them a reason to have an Xbox One for upcoming future titles. I just hope PlayStation 4, Sony announces this later on, because really, we need help here. Nintendo and Sony are the only ones I care about at the moment. I'm gonna be watching the rest of the press conferences when they come up. But yeah, let's continue. Fallout 4 again. Fine, I guess. But again, I gave my reasons why I'm not too interested. Titanfall is being brought to something. I'm not entirely sure what they did for Titanfall exactly. Oh wait, now I remember. I remember now. This is everything has to do with the fact that they brought on EA. EA. I'll get to EA when they actually have their press conference. But yeah, let's see here. They also showed up Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2, which I enjoyed the fact that they played Danger Zone, the song Danger Zone, throughout the press conference, but it wasn't really that interesting. Then they showed off Forza 6, which was... Oh yeah, by the way, no gameplay was shown for... Oh yeah, Fallout 4. I think they showed gameplay for Fallout 4, but don't quote me on that. Plants vs. Zombie, no gameplay. Forza 6, no gameplay. It's a car game, so I'm not interested in the first place, but still. Dark Souls. This is one of the most anticipated games out of all of them, and they show one trailer! One small trailer that shows of a giant waking up. That's it. Just one small trailer. Ugh. Then we have The Division. Again, they showed just a trailer for this one, but if you watched my previous E3 videos, you'll know that I find The Division to be one of the most boring games I've watched at E3. I'm hoping that this game goes away soon. Then they showed off Rainbow Six Siege, or they announced a few things about Rainbow Six Siege, and again, trailer, no gameplay. Then they had this this free-to-play game called Gigantic, which I don't know what. It had a really kind of drawn style to it, and just looked meh. But it's free to play, so most likely it's not going to work well. Indie games were shown, but only one of them really caught my interest. But of all the indie games, only one caught my interest. Something called Cuphead. It's really interesting, actually, because it's in the style of an old 16-bit platformer in terms of gameplay, but in style, it looks almost exactly like an old 60s cartoon. It is really, really interesting. And if it wasn't for the fact that it was an Xbox exclusive, this is something I would really consider. But, well, Xbox exclusive. Then they showed Ion. Again, gameplay trailer. Nothing interesting there. But the developer had a really weird... I wanted to make a game that's not a game. What do you mean by that? I don't get it. Then they showed Rise of the Tomb Raider. I'm not even sure if that was gameplay or not, because a lot of it looked like scripted events, and they even had QuickTime events. And I hate the fact that this game is a freaking Xbox exclusive. We could have benefited. The previous Tomb Raider games was on all sorts of platforms, so why not this one? Granted, the same thing can be said for Bayonetta 2, which Nintendo has an exclusive as well. And from what I've heard, Street Fighter V is a PlayStation exclusive as well. No shit. Moving on, we have... oh yeah, Rare came on. And they announced that they're doing a Rare replay where we're giving away... announcing a collection of Rare games that might be interesting. But again, Xbox. So I'm not really that interested. Then they showed a new game, they showed mostly not just a trailer, not really gameplay, live gameplay. And when I say gameplay, I mean that they're actually playing the game right there to show us exactly what the mechanics are like. Didn't do that here. They showed a pirate game that is called first-person pirate game called Sea of Thieves. Not really that interesting. Then they showed Fable Legends. Again, trailer, no gameplay. Then they showed HoloLens. This kind of confused me as to what exactly they're doing. Essentially, what they're doing is that you can apparently, if you're using this HoloLens, you can essentially they show off Minecraft with this, and essentially you're allowed to play God or a Titan in Minecraft. That's really odd. I'm not entirely sure what this is, but odd. Don't know what this is. Then they announced Gears of War Ultimate Edition, showing the original. I think it was that they announced the original 3 Gears of War games coming to Xbox One as an Ultimate Edition. even though they already announced backwards compatibility. Which, by the way, is coming in the holidays. So, Sony, if you announce this now or earlier, you have an advantage. And then they showed Gears of War 4. They showed a bit of gameplay. Not much, but a little bit. But the cover system and all that really just turns me off from this game. And that was it. But it felt like it took for fucking ever. They kept talking and talking. They showed almost no gameplay. They didn't really discuss the game. They started off nice and then it went boring. Microsoft just... If I were to rate this conference from a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a 4, honestly. It's below average, because, yeah, they showed games, and that's good, but at the same time, it was boring. It was not really that interesting. It was really boring. None of the games really looked all that interesting, except for a few. The only games I'm really interested in are Recore, because I don't know what that is, and Cuphead, an indie game. What the hell? But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Microsoft press conference. Up next is EA. Normally EA is the worst press conference out of all of them. I don't know, but it might be. See you after EA. I'm hoping Battlefront doesn't get too fucked over.